My red lights are blinking here, so I need to wrap up. Research. I just want to say that you can be in the most deep partnership, but you need to keep each other honest, and research is really, really critical for us in any of these big campaigns. Again, this is a full presentation. I can't go into details. Just wanted to share you this slide, because basically it's one of the most convincing arguments why multi-channel would work. See what the impact is. It's the statistics amongst you probably would argue that the more channels you have, the more ads you see. So we filter out all of the frequency discussions. So there's all people that have seen as many exposures in one channel or 3 channel. So it's even. But basically you see the uptake on an important one on, first of all, going and see the movie, the second box here. And then the last one, which is really, really critical for the movie studios, is the opening weekend. And that was a big push, and so you see the results there. Wrapping up. I love this quote from Lee Clow because it's, I think we all know that the internet is a really powerful medium to tell brand stories, but it will take the creative community to embrace. I just had this morning conversation with Scott there. I think it really takes a creative community to embrace the power of the internet and really start thinking about cross-platform brand stories and how do we tell stories on that consumer journey. We're not there yet. For a lot of people, technology is really boring, and probably it is. I'm not a technology guy, but don't forget that the stacks that we need and all of the stuff that's needed to actually create those fantastic microsites for Coke or create exciting brand stories like Avatar on different platforms, it's all technology driven. So you better have a vested interest on how that works. And last but not least, we can't make the world more simpler. And I know a lot of marketeers are asking the question in every single sales call, like, what do I really need to do? Well, I just can say it's not about search. It's not about search and video. It's not about search and display. It is a lot and. And as you see, and as I wanted to demonstrate here in Avatar, it's really a lot of things at the same time. You can't ignore social. You can't ignore mobile. And it's just a fact of life. You know. We can have discussions around how to make it more simpler from a technology perspective, but the reality is that you will just need to do a lot of things and measure a lot of things to get it right. Last but not least, rethink metrics. I think, and I just wanted to give that still as a message, I think we're so focused on click-throughs. In some of the videos I see, even the videos that we make, we talk a lot about click-throughs. We want to get away from that. We want to really talk, and what we're going to introduce in the coming weeks is the notion of dwell time, the notion of engagement time. Even every single homepage takeover that we report to Fox, it's still in clicks of number of people that click through to the site. Well, let's start thinking about dwell time and the time that really people take to engage with the brand. I think that's a way more meaningful metric. So I think there's great stories to be told. I think technology is going to be pivotal in that. Obviously, I think we're going to take some questions, but I'm not hesitant to for questions. If you want to send me questions, that's my email address, my Navi name as well. Not sure how useful that is, but I'm very open to answer your questions by mail. Thank you.
Marc, thank you. I'm sure you'll get some very odd questions at that name. Thank you for really being fascinating about Avatar and beyond. It's all about partnership. It's a word we've heard a great deal this morning. We've got a question for you now on that theme. So if you can just one more vote for us. How well do you think your company organises and uses partnerships in its marketing? Vote now. Well, you're not perfect by any means. Quite well, the majority, 25%. The biggest vote, not the majority. Very well, 19. But a fifth of you should be ashamed of yourselves. You'll learn a lot more while you're here, so it's obviously a good place for you to be. I'm conscious some of you may be getting a little hungry, so if we can speed up on the questions, I'm sure Mark would like to take a few now, but as he said, he can take them by email or we'll be answering them on film. Any questions now? No? Certainly one that's come through that I'd very much like to put to you, which is, together, Microsoft, Yahoo, can you beat Google?
That's unrelated to Avatar, I think.
It's related to advertising.
Well, first of all, I think, like any company, you need to focus on your own strategy and not on what the competition is doing. So we very much have a vision of the world and how we see search develop, and Google has its own. So we focus on our own strategy. For those who don't know what the Yahoo partnership is all about, we consolidate engineering forces. So Microsoft's going to be responsible for the engineering, the technology behind search for both Bing and Yahoo Search. And Yahoo is the premium selling partner for premium partners, and we do the indirect sales. The benefit is pretty clear. I think Google's mission and our missions are worlds apart. Google is all about digitizing all the information in the world. We take the view that we think consumer-centric, and we think there is a long way to go to do better, to have consumers linked to the information they want, and to make them, to help them to make the right decisions and to connect to the right stuff they want to be connecting to. So where the partnership is going to help us, well, it's going to be good for consumers, because if we combine our engineering forces, we have more scale. We're going to make the user experience, the search experience as it stands today, better than it is. We think it can be done better than just a couple of blue links. I think we are still in the phase where we really don't help people with what they're asking for. So improved engineering, improved technology will have more consumer benefit. I think for the advertisers, it's going to be a good deal, because at the end of the day, people want choice. Today, there is very little choice. Combined, Bing and Yahoo, we're going to have in the US 30% query share. In some markets, obviously, in Asia, we're going to be very big, because Yahoo is very big. So it's going to create another dynamics in terms of economics, also for the advertisers. So choice is going to impact pricing, is going to impact the way they do business with multiple partners rather than with one. And it's good for publishers, because if there's more competition, they're going to make more money out of their assets than they are doing today. So we think it's a good deal, but to start with, it's a good deal for the consumer.
On that note, thank you very much. If there are no we have a question here. I'm sure the publishers will agree with that. Certainly I know mine feels that it's good to have competition in the market.
We are from America Media Group. Sony and FIFA have just announced a partnership for covering in 3D the South African worldwide football championship. And they did at the same time a second partnership for putting in digital cinemas in 32 countries, I guess. Live screenings of football games during that period. Producing nowadays in 3D is very expensive. You know that. In short term, 3D is more related with live events concerning broadcasters and concerning advertisers that want to announce using all that platforms, not only broadcasting. That's the question.
Well, first of all, I talked about Avatar. It doesn't make me a 3D specialist. I don't know the answer to that question, to be fair. I think we have a big leap forward in terms of having normal brands embrace the world of digital. And so the Cokes and the Avatars, and there are few brands that actually go all the way digital. So before we get to 3D, I think there's a whole world that we still need to tap into and that still needs to move on. If I think about the percentage of media spend going digital, we know it's very high in the UK, we know it's okay in the US, but we have so many European markets where it actually is still not even, breaking through the 6-7% of the total media spent, while all the consumer behavior is on the internet. So I think that's sort of the first focus of our company, to go there. In terms of 3D, I don't have the answer. So on FIFA, of course, we all know that that is heavily regulated in terms of sponsorships, and etc. We try to be a good player on where we can. We did a lot of video and coverage for the Winter Olympics on our network. So we have several partnerships. I'm not sure about the FIFA status there. But just in terms of 3D, I think there's a whole world to tackle and to address before we get there.
Thank you, Marc. Two really good topics for people to ponder over lunch: the World Cup and 3D. And some work for you, if you don't mind. We've been provided by Cisco with some Flick cameras. We'd like you all to become Flip reporters while you're here. Can you go along to the registration desk, collect yourselves a camera, and tell your story? It will make great viewing for us all, I'm sure. Meanwhile, lunch awaits. Thank you very much. If you could be back here at 2:15, there's a great programme this afternoon. Thank you.